Cops are killing black men, and they keep getting away with it. So why won't juries convict police officers? Well, here's a few reasons. Juries often end up giving police officers the benefit of the doubt. If you watch the recently released dashcam footage, Philando Castile was following the orders of Officer Geronimo Yanez when he was shot.
Sir, I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it out.
Castile reached for his license while reassuring Yanez that he wasn't going for his gun. Yanez shot him anyway. The defense used the police officer's panic to illustrate a reasonable proof of fear. And that's all the jury needed to hear to acquit. In two separate court cases from the 80s, the Supreme Court ruled that officers are justified in using deadly force if they believe that there is an imminent threat to their life or the life of someone else.
The officers get on the witness stand and they testify that the only reason they shot was because they thought their life was in danger. They thought they didn't have another choice.
And those words alone are enough to end a trial. Police can also avoid a jury altogether and request to have only a judge hear their case. It's called a bench trial, and since 2005, not a single one has resulted in a guilty verdict.
It's usually cases that are very unseemly, where you don't have a very sympathetic defendant, and you just don't want to risk that, the high emotion type cases in front of a jury.
Take the trial of Michael Brillo. He was one of 13 officers who fired 137 rounds into a car, killing the unarmed occupants Melissa Williams and Timothy Russell. Brillo even reloaded and climbed onto the hood of the car to continue shooting after other officers had stopped. And a judge still found him not guilty of voluntary manslaughter. There's also no independent oversight on these cases. That means police officers are investigating each other. Take the case of Freddie Gray. He died of a severed spine after being arrested and transported in a police van. Police said Gray killed himself. But prosecutors say that police had given Gray a rough ride, were negligent in refusing to call for medical help when Gray asked for it, and impeded the investigation.
What we realized very early on in this case was that police investigating police was problematic. There was a reluctance and an obvious bias that was consistently exemplified at every stage of the investigation.
Charges for 3 of the 6 officers in that case were dropped.
The best estimate that I have is that between 900 and 1,000 times a year an on-duty police officer in this country shoots and kills someone. And yet only a handful of those cases result in an officer actually being charged with murder or manslaughter.
These shootings are not going to stop as long as cops know that they can get away with them. So what will it take to start holding police accountable for their actions?